Easy Explain, The Stoicism of Marcus Aurelius, Part 3 of 5, Meditations, Books 4 through 6. So this one's going to be a bit longer. There's a lot going on in Books 4 through 6, but we're going to try to still condense them all into just one video. And starting with Book 4, and we're actually going to start with a pretty lengthy passage from Book 4, but I think it does a good job at introducing a major theme and Stoic argument of Aurelius here. So let's go ahead and read through it for starters. Above all, no agonies, no tensions. Be your own master and look at things as a man, as a human being, as a citizen, as a mortal creature. And here are two of the most immediate useful thoughts you will dip into. First, that things cannot touch the mind. They are external and inert. Anxieties can only come from your internal judgment. Second, that all these things you see will change, almost as you look at them, and then will be no more. Constantly bring to mind that all that you yourself have already seen changed, the universe is changed, life is judgment. So let's break this down, right? Aurelius here is actually outlining two pretty major Stoic principles for his philosophy. The first one is that things cannot harm you, right? External things to your mind, they cannot harm you. You largely being your internal mind or your soul. Really only your thoughts can harm you, and those are of you. Those are of your internal mind or your soul. Another big principle here is that change, at least on the outside, is constant. It's always happening to everything, everywhere, all the time. And we need to accept that change. We need to let it happen and not make judgments on it. We shouldn't judge the change that we see occurring. Big principle for Aurelius. So you might ask yourself, okay, well, what if I'm in pain, right? What if there's a change in my external world that's affecting pain to me, to my internal world? Well, Aurelius has something for that as well. He says, remove the judgment, and you have removed the thought, I am hurt. Remove the thought, I am hurt, and the hurt itself is removed. So isn't that nice? What a way to attain this Stoic serenity, right? Aurelius says that if you think you're in pain, just stop thinking that you're in pain, and then you won't be. Your thoughts can control your experience in that sense. Bit of a shift here next to a slightly different theme, right? More so about how everything is in a constant state of flux or constantly changing. Aurelius says that all that exists is, in a sense, the seed of its successor. So here he's really stressing this causal determinism, right? Cause and effect, huge chain of events playing out. We're just watching it all change in front of us. This is natural. We have this internal free will where we can choose to accept that, though, and we should, because that will bring about this Stoic serenity. And that's kind of how he wraps up Book 4. To go right into Book 5, going to start with another passage here. Your mind will take on the character of your most frequent thoughts. Souls are dyed by thoughts. And if you've watched the videos that we have on the Stoicism of Epictetus, this idea is very reminiscent of Epictetus and habits, and how habits are very powerful. They have the ability, at least when they're positive and reinforcing, to create this Stoic peace of mind, to find this Stoic freedom in terms of Epictetus. And here Marcus Aurelius is definitely echoing that. But there is a slight divergence, right? Aurelius takes this in a slightly different direction. He really stresses the power of judgment even behind our habits, how we can use judgment to sculpt and shape our habits. And when you're directing your habits, when you're directing your thoughts, Aurelius says, your directing mind must not of itself add any judgment of good or bad. So that's a step further in Epictetus, right? We shouldn't always think that, oh, these are good habits. Yes, I should do this. Don't label them as good or bad. They just are. They should just be there to help you. So to wrap up Book 5, there's actually a lot of really great, deep, beautiful, but long passages here by Aurelius on how life is very vast. Think of it in the big picture, but everything is always flowing and changing like a big river of life, and how adopting this perspective can actually really help you with sculpting your judgments and accepting those changes. But moving on to Book 6, the last book of focus here, I'm going to start with yet another passage. He who sees the present has seen all things, both all that has come to pass from everlasting and all that will be for eternity. All things are related and the same. So here Aurelius suggests living in the present. Think of meditation, right? Focusing in on the here and now. And that perspective, the perspective you can gain from that, one maybe, hopefully of oneness with all things spanning across all of time, that can be really helpful for adopting the Stoic mindset. And he goes on about this a little further here. You should meditate often on the connection of all things in the universe and their relationship to each other. In a way, all things are interwoven and therefore have a family feeling for each other. One thing follows another in due order through the tension of movement, the common spirit inspiring them, and the unity of all being. So this is very fitting for his theme throughout the meditations. Aurelius is encouraging us to meditate on the grandeur of the universe, the oneness of life and how big it all is, and really how small and fleeting we are, but yet we still have a place in it. We're still connected to it all. And this can be hard to perceive at first, but through Stoic meditation, hopefully, coming from Aurelius, he wants you to get a sense of this, and that might really help with your peace of mind. Last selection from him, coming from Book 6 here. Fit yourself for the matters which have fallen to your lot, and love these people among whom destiny has cast you. But your love must be genuine. This reminds me of something Epicurus said. If you go back to our videos on Epicurus, I'd like to connect this back to Epicurean friendship. And what Epicurus said, one must be willing to run some risks for the sake of friendship. Here, Aurelius is saying, yes, be grateful for everyone in your life, even if it's hard sometimes. It's not always easy to love the people in our lives. Sometimes we feel like maybe destiny has just put them in our past, but we should still work to love them. Right? This is the idea of running risks for friendship. So this is books 4 through 6 of the Meditations. I hope this helps.